I'm at Sur La Table in Newport Beach, and with me is Deborah Schneider, executive chef and partner at Soul Cucina in Newport Beach. And she's found the perfect dish to complement a Take 5 recipe that appeared in the Orange County Register for green enchilada casserole. Welcome, Deb, and tell us about your dessert.
Thank you, Kathy. It's great to be here. Well, when you said green enchilada casserole, I was naturally thinking something a little bit spicy. When I have something spicy, I always want something sweet right after. So we do kind of a fun dessert at Soul called Nachos Dulces. So everyone knows nachos with all the stuff all over them.
Right.
Well, this is a sweet version of nachos that's really easy to make, really fun to serve, and totally addictive. Before you start cooking, we're going to make sure we have all of our little flavors already. So first thing we're going to make is cinnamon sugar. Okay, there's real cinnamon and then there's cassia. And mostly what you buy in this country is called cassia, and it almost has that cinnamon red hot taste to it.
Right.
Whereas Saigon cinnamon is very perfumey, much softer flavor. So in Mexico, this is the cinnamon that you use, and you see these big bundles of beautiful cinnamon, and the taste is just amazing. Well, next is dulce de leche, and in the recipe I give the option of using caramel sauce or dulce de leche, and I know you questioned me about this because the way you make dulce de leche is by putting the whole can, submerge it in water, and boil it for 4 hours.
Sweetened condensed milk.
This is sweetened condensed milk.
4 hours.
4 hours.
And is it submerged under the boiling water that whole time?
It's very important that it have at least an inch of water over the can at all times. And the flavor's fantastic.
This is a little piece of heaven.
This is a lot of heaven. I'm going to add a little bit of hot water to it.
Right.
And just to thin it out just a little bit. You can add milk to it or cream, but we have enough cream going on, so it's going to look awful, like curdled.
But you know what?
And
it's not when we finish.
Itself. No.
Look at that.
We'll thin that out.
And you're going to put this into an impeccably clean squeeze bottle.
Yeah, I like to put it in a squeeze bottle. You could thin it out a little bit more and just drizzle it, which might be fun too, but we're going to put it in here. So let me get rid of this. We're just going to upend it in. And the consistency of this, it's sort of probably a bad analogy, it's kind of like hand soap. So it's going to dribble through about that fast. It's like an hourglass. So that's going to sit over there, and that's just going to kind of work. We're going to do this for 6 tortillas is what it says. So because we're not all good at geometry, we're going to cut it in half, across like this, and then I just stack them, and then I cut them in quarters.
Right.
And then again in quarters. And of course they don't have to be perfect. And I really wouldn't make them too much smaller than this. As you can see, we've got a fair number of tortilla chips working here. We're gonna sprinkle some crushed Ibarra chocolate on top, and I really like Ibarra. This is a Mexican drinking chocolate. And the chocolate is, it's a very sort of a mild flavored chocolate, and it's mixed with ground almonds and gritty sugar and spices. So we're just gonna crush it, and we'll sprinkle that over the whipped cream, so it's another layer of sort of flavor and texture. We're gonna use a half a disc about, and we just go like that, bust it up again, and then I just sort of shave it.
And it looks different, doesn't it?
It does. You can see the sugar in it and the little bits of almond, and I just adore it. It's so different from the European chocolates that are perfectly smooth and velvety, and we really prize that consistency, but this is another way to do it. And chocolate came from Mexico, so I say they know how to do it.
I say they do too. And you put this with a little dulce de leche, you've got heaven.
Yeah. So there we are, and there's our Ibarra.
Okay, now to the stove?
To the stove.
To the stove. So Deb, you're testing the oil?
Yeah, I don't have a deep fry thermometer at home. And so what I do is I drop a piece of whatever I'm going to be frying in the oil. And as soon as it's got bubbles all around it, I can know that the heat is right where I want it. I have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of vegetable oil, and the amount, it's just enough so that the chips can float as they cook. So if you wanted to use less and do more batches, you could do that. See how pretty that is? You're looking for it to be firm. So I'm going to drop a bunch in. You don't want to add too much at once, so we're going to cook in batches here. And be careful also not to splatter yourself. And I sort of do this entry thing. It's like if you watch a lot of high diving, drop it in, it goes right and underneath.
Look at that.
So what you're looking for is you're looking for it to be crisp and light brown like this. So I'm going to get these guys out with the tongs. I use tongs to move them around. You can stir them. Also, to finish them off, we're going to use some sliced almonds. So, yes, these are sliced almonds. I always get mixed up between slice and sliver. This is a sliced almond. It's very thin and delicate. And then I just toasted it over low heat in a little saute pan, little frying pan,
And
watching
no
it all
oil,
the time.
just dry.
No oil, just dry. Just watch it all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So we're
Bring
going
the pan over
to
here
lift
for
these
these.
out in the spider. We're going to spread them out on here. And everyone's stove is different, so you're going to want to watch your heat, and if you think it's getting too hot, then turn it down a little bit. You really can't go wrong by being aware of the cooking process. Then we'll drop in another batch. Now we can tent these with foil and keep them warm, or you can reheat them in the oven a little bit right before we toss. The heating helps the sugar stick to them, and it also makes them taste like more.
All right, so we're going to go back now and do some assembly.
We are going to put this
ready?
together. This is the hard part here, okay? So watch closely, yes.
All right.
Dump everything in a big bowl.
Right.
Remember, these are warm, but they're really well drained.
All right.
And then you're going to take your cinnamon sugar that you made earlier. And I gave directions for a fairly generous amount of cinnamon sugar because I think if you're going to eat it, you may as well have enough of it. And I've got these. These are specially designed for tossing Nachos Dulces. These are actually lettuce hands, but you can toss with 2 spoons or whatever you want. What you want to do is just be careful and lift it.
Right.
And then give another little shot of cinnamon sugar. And you're going to take and you're going to load them on the plate like this. And then I have a job for you, Kathy.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You get to drizzle the chocolate syrup
All
on.
right.
So first...
And you want a zigzag?
Well, you can just have fun with it. You can do a spiral, a zigzag, a combination. That looks pretty good.
How's
Maybe a
that?
little bit over there.
Yeah.
Now
All
remember,
right.
this takes no prisoners, right?
Okay.
So here goes the dulce de leche
All right.
all over. And you're going to just go back and forth. And the idea, again, is not to make it so goopy that you know, it's inedible, but you want
Right.
every chip to have a little bit, and you want it to look really good when it comes to the table. And then on top goes the whipped cream. I told you this took no prisoners, and you can put as little or as much as you like, and you can set the rest aside because somebody will surely be finishing this off.
Right. And chocolate?
Chocolate, Ibarra chocolate, all over like this on top. Isn't this fun?
Oh, it is. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit more.
I think you are.
That might be mine right over there, and I want to make sure it has some.
Yeah, you start designing your own chip,
Right.
you know.
I've already got my eye on one.
Yeah. And then there goes the almonds on top. So doesn't that look like fun?
Yeah, you know, but I have to have a little bite, just a little bite.
And then what I do is I go in and I get a little bit of the whipped cream on the end. So just think of like chips and guacamole, only really gone to the nth degree.
I wanted to grab one of your mini cookbooks because I love this one. I love them all. And this is the one, Cooking with the Seasons of Rancho La Puerta. And it is a lovely book.
This recipe is not in there.
No.
That's a spa cookbook.
Right. But we can look at the pictures in this while eating this.
Absolutely. You can feel really virtuous about it. You know, obviously this is a treat for once in a while, but it's just so much fun to make and eat that
Thank you so much.
it was my pleasure.
It was so much fun.